Hello guys and welcome back to League One predictions. We are back yet again for game week 20 now. I'm joined as always by the wonderful Benjamin Bloom, who did beat me. Let's get those scores up there. I was quick to mention when I won, so go on, Ben did win this time. No credit to you, Ben, and how are you?
Yeah, I'd just like to say on record that the games that got cancelled for the Storm, I would have been correct on all of those games as well. So it would have been a greater margin of victory, hampered by the weather, but very pleased to be here and a win for once for me. My God, what a time to be alive.
And it does close the gap somewhat, so neck and neck between us in the League One predictions, I must say. Guys, as always, do share your League One predictions down in the comments. We do appreciate you guys doing that. We check your comments out. Quick plugs, make sure you've dropped a like. Come on, it takes 2 seconds. Please do get involved and hit the like button. Make sure to subscribe over here so you don't miss any League One predictions. And of course, subscribe to Benjamin Bloom, the first link in the description. And if you haven't already done so, come on, get involved. Let's get into the predictions, Ben, and we start with Bolton versus Wigan. We can call this one a derby, can't we? You're up first.
Yeah, Wigan going under to Leyton Orient. Bolton had the game postponed, didn't they? They were due to go to Bristol Rovers. You just never know. I was talking to Sam Parkin about this, whether that messes with players. It all depends on, whether travel's been taken already or, it's all right if it's a home game, isn't it, that gets postponed, you can get some rest. But either way around, you would still make Bolton, I think, favourites in this one. Probably for the shutout. I know you often like Bolton and both teams to score, but I think I'll take the shutout in this one. And I'll go for back-to-back 2-0 defeats for Wigan, I think. Sorry, Wigan fans, I hope I'm wrong for your sake, but let's start off with Bolton 2, Wigan 0.
And thankfully, it's not a scribble. It's usually a scribble on the first one.
Always on the first one.
Yeah, but I agree with everything you've said, and I'm just going to go 1-0 to Bolton. Little bit concerned for Wigan because we like their defensive numbers. We know that they hadn't been scoring many, but that defeat to Leyton Orient at home, conceding 2 as well, not great. Obviously, still sort of struggling in that bottom half of the table. And Bolton, moving along nicely. I mean, obviously, they did have their last game postponed, but we always say, Ben, rested or rusty. They got the home advantage here, and I think they'll do it. Wigan maybe trying to grind something out, so Bolton just take the 1-0 victory. Next up, then, we go down to the capital as Leyton Orient take on Burton Albion. A big game down near the bottom, of course. Leyton Orient have started to climb away from trouble, 16th in the table now with 21 points, but still, 3 points above that bottom 4. Burton Albion, Ben, they actually said they didn't play last week, did they? Their game was called off, but they moved up the table because Shrewsbury got heavily beaten and it meant that they went below them. So a bit of progress for Burton over the weekend. Yeah. Let's do a prediction. 1-0 Leyton Orient. Going to go for another 1-0.
Yeah, Orient, as we've been in front of this, haven't we? We expected a trend up. All comps, 5 wins in 7. So it's not just a trend up. They're in really good form. Burton, we've both backed against a lot and we've been right. Hence they're, not 24th, but 23rd in the table by virtue of Shrewsbury getting a bit of they lost 4-1, didn't they? A bit of a shellacking. So, yeah, I've got to back Orient. You've taken did you take a 1-0, Matt?
Yep, I've gone for 1-0.
Leyton Orient won 2-0 last game. Let's go 2-1. Leyton Orient 2, Burton 1. We'll go both teams to score.
Okay, interesting. Burton really got to win this, Ben. Draw's no real good for them. We said that teams at the very bottom end of League One, it's a mountain to get just up to 20th place. So Burton could do with something, but we are both going for Orient. And then Ben, you're up first for the game at St Andrews between Birmingham City and Bristol Rovers. Birmingham took thousands to Oakwell, as we thought. We both backed them to win. They did. Stansfield with a very, very good goal. And they had to come from behind. They did it the hard way. Surely you're backing them here, Ben.
I am backing them. But first of all, Matt, I've got a bone to pick with the Birmingham fans because after doing our League One predictions, I thought I'd do a little roundup video on Friday, which I entitled, Could Birmingham Actually Miss Out on Automatic Promotion? Which is just a question that I went on to then discuss in the video, concluding that I really don't think they're going to miss out on automatic promotion. I had a lot of very cross Birmingham fans under the assumption that asking the question, could Birmingham miss out, is the same as thinking Birmingham were going to miss out. So any Birmingham fans that want to stand up for me with some pretty gnarly abuse I got for that, please feel free and encourage people to not be upset by someone asking a question, especially if they go on to answer it in a very positive way. So, check that video out, though. We've done a lot of looking at League One, Matt and I, this season, so I think we're sort of fairly well versed on what's going on. But I'm going to be positive about Birmingham again. Factually speaking, guys, they are not in the top two again still. So if the clocks were to stop, even though there's games in hand and mitigating factors, they are not in the top two. And I think Birmingham fans maybe need to just show a little bit of respect to Wycombe and Wrexham, because the fact that anyone's above Birmingham shows what an incredible job those two have done, given Birmingham are way, way above 2 points per game. But all of that said, it smells like a pretty comfortable home win, doesn't it? So I am going to go, I think I'm going to go 3-0, Matt. Birmingham 3, Bristol Rovers 0.
Okay, interesting. Yeah, heavy win. Bristol Rovers, only one win in 6.
And coming to Ipswich in the FA Cup. So maybe they can get a win there.
Some late drama, maybe, yeah.
Stop it.
So I'm going to go with Birmingham as well. Bristol Rovers, their game at the weekend was postponed against Bolton. Birmingham City, impressed with the result at Barnsley, to win away at top 6 teams. I think that's the way we'll describe Barnsley, is a sign of a potential top 2 team. But, as Ben's pointed out, they're not up yet. And while myself and Ben do think they are going to go on to get promoted, we are Ipswich and Coventry fans who know this league well for not being as easy as we might have first thought.
Yeah, right.
I understand that the difference is that Birmingham have gone out and broken transfer records. And I'm going to back them 2-0 here, Ben. I'm going to go 2-0. I was tempted to go 3-0, but you've taken it now. And I think this will be a relatively comfortable one. Birmingham City, I suppose, waiting for Wrexham or Wycombe to maybe slip up one more time, because they're 1 point behind both of them. And I will also add Birmingham have games in hand on those. So maybe, as I said last time, it's a question of when, not if, Birmingham get in there. But we will see. Next up, Ben, we go to the Valley. Charlton take on Mansfield. Not sure. We liked these two at times in the first 10 games of this season. Charlton were very efficient with their 1-0 wins. Mansfield were great entertainment. Both gone off it a little bit. I mean, Charlton, decent 0-0 at Lincoln last time, I will say. Mansfield lost at home to Huddersfield. I'm going first, and I'm going to revert to the Nathan Jones 1-0 to Charlton.
Yeah, I think I'm going to back Charlton. Mansfield have really dropped off, haven't they? So all comps, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 defeats in 6, and they haven't won in the league, my God, since October the 22nd. So I think you're right to back Charlton. You've taken the 1-0. I know Mansfield lost 2-1, and it's a bit of a cliche, us going Mansfield, both teams to score. And I know Charlton are light on goal scoring, but you've taken the 1-0, haven't you? So I'm going to go Charlton 2, Mansfield 1.
Yeah. They got Matty Godden. He might pop up with a goal or two. Been impressed with a couple of his goals so far this season for Charlton. A massive opportunity really. Considering both have not been in great form, but we both do fancy Charlton here. You look at where they are on the table now. I mean, Charlton and Mansfield, despite not the best form recently, are still 10th and 12th. So it just goes to show how their great starts are still holding them in good stead. But if they're going to compete for the playoffs, they need to get back to winning ways here. Both go for Charlton. The next one then, Ben, you're up first for Exeter City versus Barnsley. What are you thinking?
I'm thinking Exeter have been really shafted by the fixture computer. Listen to this. They've played Lincoln, Wrexham, Birmingham, Wycombe, and then Stockport at the weekend. They seem to be playing, either informed teams or teams that are in the top 6. Barnsley, they took the lead, didn't they, against Birmingham? But no wins for a while for Barnsley. If this was at Oakwell, I think I'd back Barnsley. But have any of us thrown up the bat signal? Yeah, I don't think we have we? I think both of us might have been doing it on this one, but I'm going to go first. So Exeter 1, Barnsley 1.
No, I'm not going for that actually.
No,
but, I think that could happen. I'm going to go Exeter 2-1. I'm going to go
Okay.
for Exeter, which is a little bit of a rogue shout because I know they've not won in 5, and Barnsley obviously having a good season. But I completely agree with what you said about if this game was at Oakwell, I would think Barnsley should get this over the line. Yeah, Barnsley did take the lead against Birmingham, conceded straight away afterwards, and then I think they had a red card later in the game. Exeter losing away at Stockport's not the end of the world. I think Exeter are going to get back to winning ways here. I like them
Okay.
at home, 2-1 to Exeter City. And then I'm up first for Huddersfield Lincoln. Huddersfield are hitting the ground now, like really running, if you know what I mean, Ben. They're flying up to 4th place. Still somewhat of a gap, I suppose, between Huddersfield and that top 3, but the form they're in, surely the gap will close at some point, unless everyone just keeps winning indefinitely, and then Huddersfield are just sort of chasing their own sort of shadows, I guess. No, I've got to go for Huddersfield again here. Lincoln's 0-0 with Charlton. It's not the worst result. Do you know what? I promise I'll go more entertaining later in the video, but I'm going to go for another 1-0, this time to Huddersfield.
That's a scribble. Yeah, I was going to take 1-0. I just looked it up. It's like 1 defeat in 12 for Huddersfield, and that was Tamworth in the FA Cup. So they're in really nice form. We said about Mike Duff, didn't we? There'll be a streak at some point, and maybe they're building it if it goes to 1 defeat in 15 or 18 or something of that nature. So I think given that they're at home, I'll take the win. You went 1-0, and you've mentioned entertainment value. It is stormy and winter, guys, so a lot of these sides are just trying to get out of Dodge, aren't they? I'm going to go 3-1. Huddersfield 3, Lincoln 1.
Yeah, interesting shout that. I mean, Huddersfield did have both teams scoring in the last game against Mansfield, so definitely could happen. Huddersfield on a great run. Certainly think their confidence will be up. Share your thoughts with both going for the Terriers. The next one, Ben, is at Peterborough. We will add that even though this video is going out on Tuesday, Peterborough play tonight, Monday, on the day we record this, against Northampton. They're at home to Crawley, Ben. Crawley's game was called off at the weekend. They were meant to play Stevenage. So I'm trying to jog my memory, but Crawley have been in decent form, haven't they? Crawley were 5 unbeaten, back-to-back wins. You're up first, Ben.
Oh, God. This one feels difficult because Crawley have actually, like you said, probably been a little bit more consistent than Peterborough recently. But Peterborough could do anything, couldn't they? They could win 4-1 or lose 4-1. I've got no idea. With that being said, goals... No trust. Let's go for a Desmond. Posh 2, Crawley 2.
Oh, I like that. I think, yeah, if you didn't sort of delve into the numbers and just looked at this one as the fixture on paper, Peterborough v Crawley, I think in League One you fancy Peterborough to win this maybe comfortably, but more to it with Crawley's decent resurgence. You're going for 4 goals. I'll match you with the 4 goals, but I am going to go 3-1 to Posh. Sorry, Crawley fans. Prove me wrong and I'll be happy for you. But yeah, I'm going to go for Peterborough United to win this one. So share your thoughts in the comments. Next up, Ben, I'm up first for Reading versus Blackpool. So Sellers went just before the weekend, didn't he, to Hull City? I know he's not. He didn't take charge, but he was in the stands. And Reading still managed to go to Wycombe and get a 1-1 draw. So that's impressive.
Yeah, I think they've named Noel Hunt, and I think he's been in and around those kind of higher positions already. So, but I think what we do need to say is fair play to Ruben Sellers, because that was a really gnarly job and he's handled it well. And I mean, Reading fans comment, better than me, you've lived it, but I think we'll get some comments from some Reading fans saying, well played, mate. It's a shame you're gone. Not entirely sure where you're going to work for Mr. Ilachali at the bottom of the Championship, but hey, you can't really get worse owners to work for than Mr. Dai Young and Reading, so you can understand him trying to go to the Championship, but a job well done. Am I up first this, Matt, or is it you?
No, it's myself.
Okay.
Reading are 6th. Some of their fans might be quick to point out that Sellers has gone to Hull. There's a possibility Hull go down, and Reading are in the playoffs. They could go up. I know there's some real strong teams at the top end of this division, but 5th and 6th certainly look open, and I'm going to back Reading here. Blackpool's game at the weekend was postponed. 2-1 to Reading.
Yeah, I'm kind of going down similar lines there. I think They played away, didn't they? They're at Wycombe. So I think there'll be some sense of kind of a new era. And I think the Reading fans will be... He was a great player for Reading as well, Noel Hunt, wasn't he? So I think there'll be kind of a new manager, bouncy type, or a new fresh start type feel there, even though they'll be disappointed that Sellers has gone. You said 2-1, Matt.
Yeah.
I'm going to play for a bonus point. I'll be very tactical here. 3-2. Reading 3, Blackpool 2.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, I mean, obviously Blackpool's game called off at the weekend, and then you sort of jog your memory back, and they've won 2 in a row. But it's difficult to have momentum when the games are spaced out, if you know what I mean, Ben. When it's Saturday,
and there's been so
Tuesday,
many
Saturday,
little
Tuesday.
cup games in between as well, Matt, hasn't there?
Yeah, so it feels like, you know, if you can get momentum going, then great. But it's hard to generate it down here with the fixtures like this. Next up, Ben, you are first for Rotherham versus Northampton. I'll just remind the Northampton fans what I said earlier. Their game is tonight on the day we record this, even though it's going out on the Tuesday. We know that John Brady quit. They go to Rotherham. Their game was called off against Blackpool. Ben, what are you saying?
John Brady had been there a long time, hadn't he? He was there in League Two. He was there when they missed out on the last day and Bristol Rovers smashed in 7 goals or whatever it was against Scunthorpe. He took them up the next season. He kept them up. And I do worry, Matt, I hope I'm wrong, that sometimes when you have a manager of a club, and use whatever language you like, but I'll say who's been kind of punching and doing really well for their size and stature, when that manager goes, you can get a bit of a trend down. And Northampton had dropped into the bottom 4. That's the starting point. By the time we get to this game, we'll have a new manager there. Don't know who that's going to be. Difficult. I know they won't be short of applicants because, you know, there's not many jobs to go around, but difficult gig that. And I think they start with defeat up at Rotherham. And I'm going to go 1-0. Rotherham 1, Northampton 0.
Yeah, and I'm going to go 2-0 to Rotherham. Completely echo what you just said for Northampton. A couple of decent results earlier in the season when they won at Huddersfield. They got a late draw at Birmingham. Just seemed very infrequent, though, and it wasn't like they were on a good run. It just felt like the odd result was sort of being fitted in a poor run here and there, and the recent results have not been great. I mean, speaking of not having great form, Rotherham are not exactly setting the world on fire, but maybe this fixture's nice for them. Massive opportunity for both, and we're both going for Rotherham. Oh, Ben, look at this. Gareth Ainsworth takes on his former team, Shrewsbury versus Wycombe, bottom versus top. Are Wycombe still top? They are indeed, by 1 goal difference. Wycombe had that 11-game winning run in all comps, which has now gone to 2 draws. Not the end of the world, drawing with Reading, who've been great. Shrewsbury had a great first result under Ainsworth against Birmingham, but lost back-to-back games and heavily to Cambridge. This would be a very well-earned bonus point. Shrewsbury 3-2.
You're going for Shrewsbury to win?
Shrewsbury 3-2.
Wow.
With no logic. I'm going to go for
amazing.
it. It's crazy. Yeah,
right.
I'll go for it.
Can I
go on?
Call that a 5-pointer then? If that comes in, I'll give you an extra bonus point for that if that comes in, because you're back bottom against top there. That's sensational, Matt. You deserve every point you get for that. I'm obviously just going to back Wycombe now because you think the new manager bounce was a magnificent one against Birmingham.
Have I not brought you in towards the draw here, Ben?
No. No, I'm back in Wycombe. Although Wycombe fans will probably be annoyed with me because I've got on the train now and backed them to win, and now they've started drawing. I'm going to keep backing them to win, by the way. So yeah, I can't see it. I just think normal service will be resumed. We've got a little bit of a gap in the league football in between now and then, haven't we? You know, given it's been so frantic. So yeah, let's go for Wycombe. God, you went 3-2. I'm going to delete all of Shrewsbury. No, Shrewsbury will score, won't they? Let's go 3-1. Shrewsbury 1, Wycombe 3. And Matt SB, you heard it here, is on for 5 points if that 3-2 comes in for him.
Yeah, it's a bit of fun, really. I would be surprised if it comes in, but I suppose we were surprised when Shrewsbury beat Birmingham 3-2. So sometimes a bonus point, it's worth going absolutely crazy with it and back in, bottom to beat top, which might have no logic to it, but it is League One. It's an interesting league. Share your thoughts. Right, next up, Stevenage take on Stockport. Ben, you are up first. Stevenage's game at Crawley was called off. Stockport beat Exeter 2-0. It was a very Stockport result, that, wasn't it? That was the Stockport of the start of the season where they were getting clean sheets, grinding out the win, and they move up to 5th place now, Ben.
I was going to say, this absolutely reeks, surely, of a 1-0 away win, doesn't it? You know, we think Stevenage are low margin, low scoring. I just got the team stats up. Stockport are actually top for expected goals and shots on target. So just to the Stockport fans there, when we're talking about Stockport having a good defence, we also acknowledge pretty damn good going forward and making chances, although I don't know how much of their XG. No, actually, Louis Berry doesn't contribute any. All his goals are 0.1 XG, aren't they? He just slams them in from 30 yards into the top corner. I'm going round the houses, Matt, because you know exactly what I'm going to say for this. So I've said it already. I'll say it again. Stevenage 0, Stockport 1. Get your pen out.
It is a scribble. It is a scribble. There's no denying that. That is a scribble. It smells of it. It stinks of it. It's Stevenage have been very low scoring and low goals against, really, especially at their place. I don't have the facts in front of me, but I wonder if their ground has seen the least goals in League One this season. Stockport, good for a clean sheet. And what do I do? Do I go 2-0 now? I think I'm going to have to. Yeah, I'll go 2-0 to Stockport. Maybe if they get a goal early, that might open the game a bit, and then they might go on and get a second later in the game. But yeah, I agree with everything you said. I wanted the 1-0, but you've taken it, and they are the rules. Next up, Ben, I will take the 1-0 straight away for Wrexham versus Cambridge. I'm going to deny you that. It's a difficult one, though. I mean, Wrexham do love a 1-0 win. They're very good at home, but we've got to acknowledge some very good results recently for Cambridge. That was a massive win against Shrewsbury, not just the scoreline, but in terms of the fact it was two teams in that bottom four facing off. I'm saying 1-0. I think Wrexham find another way to grind it out. I think Elliot Lee's goal in the 1-0 win over Burton was from the corner, by the way. It went straight in from the corner kick. You called that last time. I'm taking it this time. 1-0 to Wrexham, and they stay in the top two.
I've got to push back against Wrexham being very good at home. They are ridiculous at home, aren't they? It's 9 wins and a draw. And this was the point I was trying to mention in the video I made about League One on Friday, that Birmingham fans shouldn't be cross about people asking the question. They should be saying, look, you've got a team that's won 11 straight games above you, and you've got a team that's just ridiculously good at home. But, Matt, we saw Plymouth Argyle kind of be all right away from home, stupendously good at home, and get 101 points. So if you're gonna crack, I don't know, 55, 60 points from your 63 points from 23 games, where you get 69. Someone tell me how many Plymouth got in that season, because it was an ungodly number. But Wrexham just doing amazing things at home, and of course I've got to back them against Cambridge. What is Cambridge's away form? They're the worst in the league away from home. So there you go. Which means I can raise your 1-0. I'm not going to raise it very much. Wrexham 2, Cambridge 0.
Wrexham 2, Cambridge 0. There you go. We're both back in Wrexham. Ben, I've got League One from 22-23 up.
61, yeah? I just looked it up.
Yeah, found it.
Insanity.
61. That's incredible, isn't it? Was that 20 wins from 23 home games? I can't believe that.
Absolute insanity.
Wrexham could be on course to break that this season. Well,
you're getting promoted if you get 60 points from your home games, aren't you? But that's the point. So what did Plymouth do away from home? 40. So they got, do your percentages. Yeah, 60-40 basically, isn't it? They got, 60% of their points at home. Even I can do that maths.
We were speaking the other day, Ben, just before we round this out, about the top 3, maybe top 4 if Huddersfield keep up some very good form, all being up in the 90s. Is it going to be the case that we see someone on 96 points not going up again? Is that the highest we'll ever see? With Sheffield Wednesday?
I think it is the highest we'll ever see. Do you not think, and the Birmingham fans will like this, is it not more likely that you have perhaps Birmingham 5 to 10 points ahead, and then maybe 3 teams around the 85-point mark, close together, duking it out for that last place? I can see that being the more likely scenario, but It's League One, mate.
Yeah, yeah, it's been great fun so far, and honestly, the predictions have been great fun so far this season. So we are really enjoying this, and we're really enjoying your support, guys. Make sure to share your League One predictions down in the comments. Let us know your thoughts. Whoever you support, get involved. Even if you're not a League One enthusiast, tune in and find out more about this division as we do as the season goes on. Thank you so much for joining me, Ben. Make sure to like and subscribe, and obviously subscribe to Benjamin Bloom. Lots of content coming out on your channel this week, I presume.
Yeah, so we've got the Premier League check-in with yourself, which we've actually just recorded, which is coming out tomorrow as I exist, but today as you exist on the internet. It'll be out on Tuesday. Yeah, so plenty going on in there. And yeah, just really in the comments, really interested in hearing from the Reading fans this week and their reflections on Ruben Selles and what they think is going to go on there. So do get involved and smarten myself and Matt up on that. And yeah, we enter, if you think it's been mental so far, here comes Christmas very soon, Matt.
I don't know what we're going to do, Ben. We'll work it out, but it is absolutely crazy. There's games every 3 days, so we're going to have to sort it out. But we appreciate your support and your patience with us. Guys, thank you, Ben, for joining me. Guys, please make sure you subscribe to Benjamin Bloom. Make sure you've dropped a like as well, like I say, and we will see you next week for more. Take care. Peace out.